KC's Audio Vault.
The New Odds.
June 18th, 2008.
Hey, Casey.
Hello.
Hi.
And you're playing the zoo this evening?
Yes.
From what I hear, you guys drove straight from Vancouver?
Yeah, we only do it the hard way. We just got we got this nice little bus thing and we got going.
Well, what you got the new disc out. It's called Cheerleader. And how did you get all back together again after, being away from each other for quite a while?
Well, we were working on our American Communism album for the last 10 years. And
we've been waiting for that to come out for so long.
I know, I hit the net and stuff, and people download it and things.
I think it's some live streaming.
We pulled it. There was some live streaming. Then we did Cuban Democracy. That took us another 2 years. I'm just kidding. After we were the Kings of Sleaze Rock, we decided to take some time off. And we did some other projects. Pat here, I'm Craig, and Doug and I did a lot of the Strippers Union album with Rob Baker and Northy Valenzuela with Jesse from the Gin Blossoms, and we did a lot of film and TV, Kids in the Hall and Corner Gas, and just kind of Colin James. We did 4 albums, so we just kind of kept going in disguise. And then one day these guys said, "Why don't we write the way we used to write?" And that was about a year ago. And the Bare Naked Ladies invited us out on a concert cruise thing with Guster and a bunch of other bands.
Jason Plum
from
Motley Crue does that as well.
Motley Crue does the
Motley Cruise.
Motley Cruise, yes.
There's a company that books tour. It's a regular cruise ship, but these guys are sort of like a band agency, and they book these rock and roll cruises, like I don't know, John Mayer,
Collective Soul,
Leonard Skinner.
Skinner's done them.
We were watching the Leonard Skinner Collective Soul people come off as we were getting ready to go on it. We just hoped that they had some good mops to mop down that boat after these people got off. But anyway, they put these cruises together, and I think Bare Naked Ladies just got together with them and put their own thing together. So you can go onto their website and see that it's happening again in February, and it's amazing, and it's awesome that they invited us to come, and along with all these other great bands.
It gave us a reason to they knew we were writing. It gave us a reason to find Murray, who's sitting over there, and add a 4th person, and that's when the New Odds were born, because they asked, "What the hell are you going to call it?" And we were joking. We thought, like Spinal Tap, the New Originals, we'd be the New Odds. But, of course, it was on the internet and out there immediately, so we stuck with it.
Were there legal issues for going with just the odds again?
No, that's all cleared up. We could do that if we want to, but we just figured because we got one new guy, a lot of bands like Van Halen or The Police or whatever, they don't come out with new albums. They just go out there and, I don't know, it doesn't seem like we would ever do that. We never wanted to do that. We wanted to make a creatively vital album if we were ever going to do something with that name on it. And we figured with Murray, it was new, and we did make something new. So,
how is the tour? You did a little one out east, I guess, right? And you're doing this in like 2 little batches. How did the first step go?
It was great. Sometimes it's difficult in places for people to understand if it's us. They see the New Odds, they go, "I hate those guys. They're stealing from the Odds," or whatever. But in most of the places, it was quite triumphant. We had a great time musically, and we expect to do so starting tonight again.
Right, and then you're working your way back out west.
Yeah. We're gonna make our way there, and then dribs and drabs through the summer.
We thought, we could have got a flight out here. We could have slept in for 2 days longer and flown out and be all comfy today. But you just don't have that road grease, grimy, underslept, a little bit, edgy. So we decided, let's drive for 28 hours.
We can't be the Kings of Sleaze without a layer of gravy.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Kids in the Hall and doing, soundtrack work, being in one of the videos. How did you end up meeting the guys and becoming such good friends years ago?
They heard our records, our first CD, Neapolitan, and became fans of it. And then we were already fans of theirs. We'd travel around on the bus and have marathon sessions driving out of town watching Kids in the Hall. So when they came to town, to Vancouver, they were using our album as their intro music. And our tour manager was working the show and said, who decided to do this? And their guy said they did. So they kind of hooked us up, and we just sort of have a connection. We think the same way about a lot of things, and we've been friends ever since.
Well, let's do a track that people may associate with the Odds as well as Kids in the Hall. Heterosexual Man, the New Odds, playing tonight at the Zoo. This is the 6 o'clock Rock Report on Winnipeg's Best Rock, Power 97. The Odds on the 6 o'clock Rock Report. We are Winnipeg's Best Rock, Power 97, and they're back as the New Odds, playing tonight at the Zoo. And you started telling me a story about Bruce McCullough. I guess you guys did a record with him at one point.
The Drunk Baby Project, yes. Pat and Doug and myself and Vince Jones and Brian Connolly, who played guitar in the Shadowy Men, who were the band on the show.
Right.
We did that record in the Tragically Hip's bathhouse studios, which is kind of one of the most fun places to make a record because you're all hanging out, living together.
It's a bit like summer camp.
Yeah.
You pick a room upstairs and you run down the stairs, and there's rooms with all your gear to set up and rock. And then there's a kitchen. You get up first thing in the morning, coffee in the kitchen, hang out. And Craig was kind of the ringleader along with Bruce. And, the chalkboard would say, okay, here's what we're doing today. So, it was amazing. It was like summer camp. You go to your little corners and work on a song. And the only difference is, Bruce being a live theater guy, like you'd run through a rehearsal of the song and you go, okay, that's how it goes. Next time through, he'd be saying different stuff. You'd be cracking up. I almost dropped the ball like 3 or 4 times. I was laughing so hard. And then he'd kind of take a left turn where he never did. And you're like, oh, what am I? Okay, I'll just follow him. But the Drunk Baby Project, it's out there. And there's some hilarious stuff on there. I just thought that would be funny to have, certain songs that people play when we come by. But they need to hear some of that stuff.
We'll send a shout out to Bruce's mom and his sister Heather, who are out here in Winnipeg.
I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
You said you were looking for Mike Keane as well.
I'm looking for Mike Keane, yeah. I connected with him at the Moose Yearling Foundation thing, and I played in that Juno Cup with him in Winnipeg. And he's a great guy, and he should come out tonight.
At the Zoo, the New Odds.
Come on, Mike.
Well, let's talk about the new record a little bit more. Cover art and title of the album, Cheerleader. How does this fit with Cheerleader?
I think it's just plain irony. Because the songs, we tend to have a dark sense of humor, as you may have noticed by the music. And the songs are pretty much universally dark, but all peppy and rocky and up-tempo. So we figured that's sort of what a cheerleader does. They're able to make it feel like you're going to win the game, even if there is a lot of doubt. So Doug thought it up, and he's not here, so he would actually probably answer the question better.
The cover is like a 60s well-dressed man face. We got lines all over it. Where did this come from?
Oh, that's a painter from Calgary, Chris Cran, and we were fans of his artwork. He's quite famous, or infamous now, famous. And so we just approached him and asked him if we could use any of his work. And he said, yeah, anything. So that one worked to us for the cover. And we sort of designed the rest of the package around it.
Now, is this, I was reading somewhere that, is this the face of the man who created the pom-poms? Which also kind of all fits together with the cheerleader idea?
A bit too freaky.
It's a bit freaky, but yes.
The vinyl pom-poms.
Yes.
All right. Well,
that was a coincidence.
One of the stories, or one of the songs, pardon me, is Write It in Lightning, and though there's a pretty cool story behind that, right?
Yeah, I guess so. After we kind of took a break from being Odds, we... like I said, we took on other projects, and I was doing a staff writer job for Warner Chappell in Los Angeles, going back and forth. And the head of the publishing company came to me one day and said, The Who are looking for songs by people who were influenced by them, which was kind of funny to me because it's sort of like Bob Dylan looking for songs by people influenced by him. Everybody is influenced by him, and he's one of the greatest songwriters, and so is Pete Townsend. So, he said, I know he was serious, and so a few guys took a crack at it, and I wrote that song and submitted it, and they got together in Las Vegas a few months later and listened to the songs, he and them, and they picked my song and said, yeah, we'll do that one, put it on hold. So I got that message, and it was kind of floored me. I thought, that's amazing. But then they're old English rock stars who changed their minds, and they never did a record like that. One more guy died, and off they went to do another tour. So it's been used in a couple formats since, and when we were making the record, Pat and Doug said, remember when we demoed that song, how fun that was? Because we just played it live, the three of us, and so it was twice as good because we added Murray. We had the other guitar parts. So we just recorded it live again for the record.
So they bought the rights to it and that kind of thing, but you're still able to...
Oh, yeah. When someone puts a song on hold, they don't pay you any money. They just basically say, no one else can record this for a certain length of time until we do, because we want to be the first to do it. But then they let it off the hook, you know. That happens to writers all the time. People put it on hold and never use it.
New odds tonight at the Zoo. Who's opening up for you guys?
Sean Verreau from Widemouth Mason is doing an opening slot on his own. He's fantastic. He's kind of the Swiss Army knife of rock and roll. Just a guitar, and you can do anything with it. Open a can, saw a tree down. You can do anything with that guitar. And then Crash Parallel.
Toronto is also opening.
And they drove all the way from Toronto.
So you guys are meeting in the middle.
We kind of had a race with them. Well, see, those guys flew, but not their road crew.
The race with the road
They
crew.
know, and like us, the road is hard.
It's tough.
It's a B.I.H., you know.
My friend.
You gotta live it. And those two dudes today, they're living it.
Yeah.
They got a couple hours less. It's a bit closer to Toronto from Winnipeg, you know. But
Well, I appreciate you guys coming in, spending some time with us on the Rock Report.
All right. Thanks, Casey.
thanks.
Not a problem. Well, I figure we're talking about the Who, talking about Write It in Lightning, and it definitely has kind of a Who feeling to it.
Let's rock.
Here it is on the Rock Report. We are Winnipeg's best rock, Power 97.
Backbeat like an axe, coming down on the melody.
All the interviews you want on iTunes and at power97.com. Casey's Audio Vault.
Casey Norman is Power 97's music director and can be heard every weekday from 2 till 6 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Power 97 is Winnipeg's best rock.